Hello, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. On deck, we've got what should be a great matchup between the Detroit Lions and the Cleveland Browns. So with that, let's get up to First Energy Stadium in Cleveland. For the call, we welcome in our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach. First opened in 1999. There's a good look at First Energy Stadium here in Cleveland, Ohio. The folks here in Cleveland, even though all the down years, have never stopped supporting their hometown guys, and we got evidence of that a moment ago as the Browns made their entrance. They are ready to do battle with Matthew Stafford and the Detroit Lions. Up in the booth with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden, and kickoff straight ahead, CD. What's one thing that you're going to have your eye on?
I think about what the great coaches of the past always said. The key to any ball game. Can you rush theirs and protect yours? Well, in this case, both of these teams get after the quarterbacks. I'm watching the pass rush.
Here's the former Sooner, Austin Seibert, to get this one started. And off we go from Cleveland. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. They'll be led out by a former Pro Bowl quarterback out of the University of Georgia, Matthew Stafford.
Matthew Stafford is a big-arm guy who's learned how to temper some of his throws. Actually has added a lot more touch and accuracy as his career has gone along. Big-time confidence in his arm, though. Any throw you want, he can make it.
The first carry now. This is Johnson. And right away, he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Browns. And they will take over at the 26-yard line.
To put it mildly, that is not the way anyone wants to start off a game. You fumble on your first offensive snap. But now what you're worried about is, does that linger throughout the game for your guys on offense? And how's the defense going to handle it? Because no one expects to run out on the field on the first play and have to all of a sudden start to play themselves.
Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. So we've got a challenge. Our referee's going to take another look on the tablet. He's going to be watching to see if the knee was down prior to the ball coming out.
Oh, I love what you just said there. You nailed it, because if the ball's shifting or moving before the knee or any other part of the body hits the ground, then that'll be considered a fumble.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And a fumble last time. Ball security. Talk about it all the time in the National Football League. They've got to be better at it on this drive.
Don't you think that when every team gets together for the first time, I don't care if it's OTAs, mini camps, first day of camp in the regular season, ball security comes up about what, the second sentence of the coach's address?
And those are so many drills focus on that.
All the time, and they do drills to make it even tougher to simulate game situations. Doesn't always work out, though.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Stafford. Catch is made by Hockenson, the tight end. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. It's a gain of 34.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, Let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 25-yard line. Stafford going to give this one off to Johnson. And he'll get it down inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Stafford, open man, he's got him, the tight end Hockenson. And he'll take it from the 18 to the 15, a gain of 3. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
Mike. 250. Mike.
Stafford on 3rd down. Got a man, it's Amendola. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the 1st down.
Set. 260. Mike, number 53. Mike, 53.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
From back at the 4, here's 2nd and goal. They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2. And now the starting defense for the Browns.
Olivier Vernon is a defensive end that combines terrific run-stopping ability with a quick first step to the passer.
They come out here in the eye. How about this Browns defense they've held so far? This is now 3rd and goal. Here's the first carry for Bo Scarborough. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
So on 4th down, the Lions turn it over to Matt Prater for the field goal try. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through, and the Lions are going to take a 3-0 lead. That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
Now it's Martin to do the honors after the made field goal. This is taken at the 3. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. So here come the Browns for their first drive on offense. Under center, it's the 2017 Heisman Trophy winner as you get a look at Baker Mayfield. Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. A first carry now for Nick Chubb. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Mayfield. He's got the hook up to Odell Beckham. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 14 yards, and it's a Cleveland first down.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you make curl a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually now Mayfield lost the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Mayfield hands it off to Chubb. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
And the Lions going with an extra DB here on 3rd down. Working out of the gun, Mayfield. This one complete into the hands of Higgins. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 26. Well, they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this, saying, hey, how you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
I didn't offer mine.
You were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 26-yard line. Throwing, Mayfield. His throw incomplete. He was trying to get it to his tight end, David Njoku, but it'll be 2nd down. And a peek now at the offense for Cleveland.
And the play of this offensive line is going to be so important in this game because we saw the sack a minute or so ago. They've got to be able to give their guy time to throw. That means communication and being physical is vital. Otherwise, this could be a long game.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. Mayfield looks to throw. Got an open man, it's Ratley. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 13-yard line.
Well, this is where reading defenses and practice time comes into play. You've got to know what you're running versus zone versus man and how to run the proper route. And they just executed that one pretty well.
On first down, they'll run with Chubb. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. And now the Lions' defensive starters.
As Darius Slay continues to improve at the cornerback position, he may live up to his own nickname as the Slaymaker.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Hey, D-line, let's get in there. Let's get in there.
Here's Mayfield. Got an open man. That's David Njoku, the tight end. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Mayfield now. This is the tight end, Njoku. And he will have the first down before he's brought down at the 3. Just a yard, but that's all they needed. And by the slimmest of margins, it'll be 1st and goal.
That throw's not going to get them a whole lot, but that really didn't matter, did it? They got what they needed on that throw. Picked up the first down, and I'm going cliche here. Game of inches, partner.
Absolutely. And you talked to me a lot about opening drives, how key those are to set the tone. You kept the drive alive. 3rd down conversion here is big.
Hey, let's get this, get this. What's up? Hey, Mike 51.
To throw, Mayfield. Under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sacked back around the 8.
Hey, that's all day, baby. You're safe.
Charles, a little bit of feast or famine on this drive. They moved the ball okay, but they've been sacked twice now.
And they've got to figure out how to plug that leak a little bit, right? Keep them away from the quarterback because when he's not being hit, as you mentioned, they're moving the ball well.
Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal. Now Mayfield. And it's caught. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. A 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Browns have taken the lead.
The big fella was the recipient there for that touchdown pass, and it seems like more and more the tight end is the guy you have to worry about most in the passing game.
Austin Seibert on for the extra point. And this is up and good to make it 7-3. So that drive, 12 plays in length. And it's capped off by the Browns' touchdown. Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off. This is fielded at the goal line. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about
Toe bashed it.
that. Super toe.
And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
This one out quickly to Amendola. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
A 5-yard pickup on the play. And it's third down.
Mike. Waiting. Mike. Coming to you. Back.
Now it's Stafford off the bootleg. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Oh, free safety blitz. That can be a gamble, but it proves fruitful there.
Yeah, you're exactly right about the gamble because oftentimes the free safety is the last line of defense against a long pass. And when he comes at the quarterback, he'd better get home and make the play. Otherwise, a big play could result for the offense.
On fourth down, here's Sam Martin on to kick it away. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Browns will take over, 1st and 10. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Mayfield to throw it. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. They couldn't contain Deshaun Hand that time as he gets home for the sack. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack.
Watch tight end. Alone. 3 down.
2nd and long. Steps away to his left. And now he'll tuck it and run. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. I guess no need to force it when you can do that instead. First down, 18-yard gain.
The sack on first down took him out of a traditional running play and put him in a passing situation, but didn't stop him from running anyway, did it?
No, I was surprised when he took off. I thought, oh, he's got some space. He might pick up 5, 6, 7 yards. He goes all the way and picks up the first. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Watch the run.
A run for Nick Chubb. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
On 2nd and 12, Mayfield. Trying to get it to Beckham, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Jared Davis.
Pick 6, baby. Let's get this all day.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
And Detroit getting set to go now. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Suddenly, it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. After the interception, here's Stafford. And it's caught here, Amendola. They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4. Nice job defensively to hold them to 4, and now it's 2nd and goal. Second and goal from inside the 5.
Come on, QB, come on.
Now Stafford. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Kenny Galladay, the intended receiver, but now it's 3rd and goal.
They may be snapping the ball near the goal line, but all you're thinking defensively, keep them out of the end zone. Force the incompletion, force them into going for 3, and not giving up 6.
They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. Now Stafford. He rifles one that's intercepted. Read it well, and it's picked. And he'll go down inside the 15 at his own 13-yard line.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. A tale of two extremes already in this game. A touchdown pass on their opening drive followed by an interception last time out.
Now, it sounds like things balance out, right? What's that mythological thing that we do? If you have a candy bar, have a diet soda with it, and it balances it out. And we know that's not really true, right? Because the interception, that sting lingers a little bit longer. Got to come out now and put together some nice plays.
Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10 at their own 13. They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. And this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early, because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard.
It's going to be a long day.
2nd and 1. He's got Njoku, his big tight end. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. On the carry, it's Chubb. And he'll rumble for about 5, up close to the 40.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on 1st down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
The 1st down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. They run. Chubb. And he'll take this up over the 40 to about the 41. Still a couple yards short of the 1st as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
They'll look to throw. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. This is caught. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. They only needed a little bit, and they got a lot. A great job just grabbing the football away from the defender there.
And remember, it was 3rd and short, so the defensive front played run. They didn't pressure the quarterback. That meant despite the coverage downfield, they had a chance to complete the play, and they did.
After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. They'll give it to Chubb, and he's in. Touchdown, Browns. Nick Chubb taking it in, and the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. Nice job of polishing off that drive, but all the credit there goes to that play prior.
Yeah, it certainly does, because after that big play, I think resistance almost felt futile at that point, didn't it? And the very next play, they come right back, quick, fast, and in a hurry, and put it in the end zone.
Extra point by Seibert, up and good, and that pushes the lead up to 11. So the drive there took 6 plays, and Nick Chubb the one to finish it off as he does so with a touchdown run. Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off. This is taken at the 3. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we've got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you've got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it? Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They go over the middle, and it's complete to start the drive. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on 1st down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a 2nd and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
The Lions on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 4. The shotgun snap for Stafford. And he'll find Galladay. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. First catch for him on the afternoon, and it results in a 1st down.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. This one complete to Lacy. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. And they went the wrong way there, losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up third down.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
The Lions on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. From the gun, here's Stafford. Open man is Galladay, complete. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. 15 yards for the Lions there on a first down. Well, this is how you shake the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident, keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football.
180. You ain't doing nothing today. You ain't doing nothing today.
On 1st and 10, Stafford. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop, but that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything, so it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11. They will run it. It's McKissick. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Now play number 8 on this drive, and they need 9 yards to pick up the first on 3rd. To throw is Stafford. And they finally get to him as he's taken down. The D-tackle Sheldon Richardson came barreling in for the sack.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense, 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing. The O-line coach will.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. He was true on his first. This a tough one from 49 yards away. Prater's kick is good. And a 2nd field goal here cuts their deficit to 14-6 now. So as it turns out, that sack doesn't wind up costing them, Charles. They at least get points, get 3 of them.
Yeah, that's where your kicker can really come to your rescue because, you know, after the sack, there was a little consternation there. Are we out of field goal range? Are we going to be able to get 3? In this case, he stepped right up and gave them exactly what they needed.
Now it's Martin to do the honors after the made field goal. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Heading back out, Baker Mayfield as we call up our player spotlight. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with their quarterback on the ground so much.
He'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And they'll be looking to build off of a nice drive last time, a drive that really relied on the quarterback.
Making good decisions, distributing the ball well, distributing it accurately, keeping it away from danger. A really nicely run drive.
But now the defense, what adjustments do they need to make in the passing game?
Pass rush, pass rush, pass rush. Whether it's the guys up front or maybe you bring additional guys, but you've got to disrupt the timing of them throwing the football.
We'll see if they can disrupt it here. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
They go play action. Mayfield. And he's got the hook up to Landry. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
Mayfield now, 9 of 11 passing in this first half. He's got his guys at 1st and 10. On the ground, it's Chubb. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Chubb on the counter. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
Mayfield now looking to throw on first down. It's caught. Beckham. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. Now Chubb. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
The Browns on 3rd down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
They tried their best to pick up that 3rd and 1, but their surge wasn't enough to counteract what came back at them from the defensive side, was it?
Offensive line, especially in the middle, looked like they were on skates a little bit when that one started.
So now we bring up 4th and inches. This will be a critical call.
So on 4th down, out comes the Browns kicker, Austin Seibert. From the left hash, this from 34. Seibert's kick is good. And that will extend their lead here to 17-6. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
After the made field goal, Seibert back out there to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Back onto the field comes the offense. Let's take a closer look at Kerryon Johnson. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your horse. You know, Secretariat lost twice in his career.
So educational. That's very true, kids. Look it up. Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll run with McKissick. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, people say bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Now Johnson. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. The Lions on 3rd down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 8. Out of the gun, Stafford. And Amendola with a catch. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. And they pick up 25 as they convert on 3rd.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
I used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 48-yard line. Throwing is Stafford. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. The intended target, T.J. Hawkinson, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
On 2nd down, Johnson. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave them with 3rd and still 7 yards to go. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or 2 because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
They'll need to get this to the 38. That's where the 1st down marker is here on 3rd. A carry now for McKissick. And he will be very close to a 1st down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. It's good for a gain of 7, but still a few inches short here with 4th down coming up.
So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid type player. Half defensive back that covers passes and half linebacker that makes tackles. We just saw the linebacker make that play.
And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. Now it's Martin to do the honors after the made field goal. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Kareem Hunt and the rest of the offense making their way back out there. We're in the second quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe they have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on, and then there will be running lanes to find later.
Yeah, try to get him more involved here on this drive maybe. Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Throwing here to start the drive as they connect left side. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. 14 yards, and it's a Cleveland first down. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action. Mayfield looks to throw. This is the tight end, Njoku. A gain of 6 there on first.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Mayfield finding Beckham, and he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one good for 26 and a first down. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
Mayfield now over 200 yards already in this first half. It's 1st and 10. Mayfield with it once more. This pass complete to Higgins. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Four yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. They'll throw again. Here's Mayfield. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1.
3rd down and 6 yards to go.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Going to the air again with Mayfield. He's got his tight end, David Njoku. Now the Browns signal for the 2nd of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Mayfield brings him up 1st and 10, and he's 5 for 6 now throwing the ball on this drive. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw, and he's got it. 11 more on that one, and another first down. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
Mayfield now. Pass incomplete. Maybe a little over-anxious in the pocket there. He just didn't look comfortable on that throw.
No, he didn't, because it wasn't his normal fluid delivery. And I think you might have had it right. Wasn't really confident with what he saw downfield and almost felt like he wanted to pull that one back.
2nd and goal, and they will try again from the 2-yard line. They'll try to run this one in. And he takes this one in for a Brown score. Nick Chubb with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And the lead is up to 15 now. So a nice drive put together there. They go 75 yards in 9 plays. And Nick Chubb, the one to finish it off, as he does so with a touchdown run. Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off. This is taken at his 4. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. We're under 20 seconds to go in the half. I'm guessing the wise play here is be safe.
That is the wise play, because if you think about trying to fool them here, here's what you're facing. You're facing a loosened up secondary, playing a lot deeper than normal. So even if you run some type of misdirection, you're only going to fool them for a second or so. And guess what? They're so deep, they're really not going to be out of position. Take the knee, get to the locker room.
Final 17 seconds of the half here as they come up to the line, 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Stafford. He'll get this one to Galladay. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down.
It's a gain of 20. And the Lions first down.
Stafford now 13 of 16 throwing the football. It's 1st and 10. Here's McKissick. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. From the gun, Stafford. And Amendola's got it, complete. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call.
That's it. Big hit.
So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. It'll come from the right hash. It's a 47-yard attempt. And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. So we come upon halftime in what's a 12-point game at the break. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. And welcome in, everyone, to an abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This game's had a little bit of everything thus far, and certainly plenty to look forward to, as the teams are right back out there for the second half. So we'll get right back out there as well, as we'll turn it back over to Brandon Godden.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Browns are going to get the second half kickoff, and they've got this lead as well as we are back and underway. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Here's the Browns offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spend the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10 at their own 27. Here's Mayfield. Got an open man. That's David Njoku, the tight end. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately, because if you let that big guy get a head of steam up, boy, then you've got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on first down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Chubb. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That's good for a Cleveland first down, an 11-yard pickup.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
In your face.
They run again on first down, Chubb. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it was just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But looks like they're ready to go.
Mike, 180! Hey, it's coming up. Hey, let's go. What's that?
On 2nd and 12, Mayfield. Sideline throw, that's caught by Landry. And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44.
It's a gain of 3. Brings up 3rd and 8.
For the Lions, an extra DB in the game now here on 3rd down. From the gun, Mayfield. He finds Beckham complete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 43. To throw, Mayfield. He's got Njoku, his big tight end. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
Throwing again on second down. Mayfield. It's brought in by Harris. And he gets it down to the 32. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
Now here's a throw, and that's Taywan Taylor with it. That was the 8th play of the drive, so a somewhat fitting pickup of 8 yards.
Brings up 2nd and 2 at the 23-yard line.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. And now Mayfield on the bootleg. He'll get this to Chubb out of the backfield. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
That was well defended, and while it was a completion, it resulted in a loss of yardage. It's really, really hard for a running back to think to himself, I probably should have just dropped it and saved the yardage. It goes against the entire training that he's had his whole career.
Play number 9 set to come here on the drive on 3rd and 2. And again, it's Mayfield. And the throw there going to be incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. He connected on his first, this from 41. Seibert able to knock this one through. And that will make this now a 15-point advantage. So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the 3rd quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
After the made field goal, Seibert back out there to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. So we're going to look at the Lions offense as they get ready for their first possession of the 2nd half. They're down in this game, a chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Oh, boy, partner, did that just happen? I've got my hand over my eyes right now because, like him, it's going to haunt my dreams, too. He was wide open. How did he overthrow him there?
Defensively, just very lucky. You know that they got away with one there. From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Stafford, incomplete.
So many qualities coaches tick off when they talk about, hey, what is it going to take to make an excellent quarterback? Accuracy has to rank near the top of every list.
Talk about arm strength, that's great. Mobility, great, but you need that accuracy in there. That one well in front of his man.
Yeah, now they got to face a big third down.
Here we go.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Stafford now to throw. Got a man, it's Amendola. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. A good pickup there, 21 yards. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
Set. 180. Watch the run. Watch the run. Watch the run.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll only get a yard, maybe 2, up to the 46.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
53. Mike. I got it. Check 99. Check 99.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Stafford. And his throw here's incomplete. Kenny Galladay is intended receiver. And that'll make it third down.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. He's got his man, T.J. Hockenson. A very solid gain of 27.
Not too many teams will use a first-round pick on a tight end, so you know that when one does, he's got to be pretty darn special.
A small example of why they took him in the first round there. Nice little catch and run to get the good yardage. Stafford now. 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Give the tackle there to Morgan Burnett.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
280.
Second and 5 now. Stafford. Catch is made by Hockenson, the tight end. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Check 53. Watch the run. Watch the run.
A first down carry here for Johnson. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Out of the gun, Stafford. Open man is Galladay, complete. And here he'll get it down to the 7. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
And it's third down.
And for the Browns, a nickel set here on third down. Stafford. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Another good drive, Charles, but it looks like another that might end in a field goal try.
They've made some nice plays. They've given themselves opportunities, but as you noted, another field goal attempt coming up. And that's not how they want to end drives. They've got to figure out what's the final touch that they need to push it across the goal line.
Yeah, still yet to find the end zone. Now it's Matt Prater on for the Lion field goal try. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. Prater's kick is good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So yet another field goal to end a drive. That has been a very common theme. He's now hit 5 of them in this game.
Yeah, Brandon, as an offense, you hate that you've had to call on your kicker so often, but you have to love the fact that time and time again, he's come through.
Now it's Martin to do the honors after the made field goal. This is taken at his 4. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. There's Baker Mayfield as he and the Browns offense comes back out. And right now, probably just one thing in his mind. It's getting back to the hot start because he's really faded.
And ordinarily when that happens, the quarterback, as you know, is usually the leader of the squad. Now there's probably a silent camaraderie that comes about him saying, hey, guess what? We got you. Don't worry about it. Let's go, big fella. Because they know more times than not, he tends to pick things up, and they tend to play well.
Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. A throw left side to start out. That's complete. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason, it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
A throw over the middle, taken in. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Mayfield looks to throw. And, oh, he took that in one-handed. What a grab. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. That winds up being a 4-yard loss and leads to 4th down.
What a catch and one-handed, and I'm starting to lose my awe about the play, and maybe I shouldn't. How much of this is the player? How much of it is the glove?
Well, those gloves, they do have a little grip to them, don't they?
They get a little extra tackiness to them now, and I know the guys in the NFL, the competition committee, some other places, they're talking about examining those gloves to see if they're having too much of an effect on the game.
And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal, field goal, field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at the 20. They'll try to get the offense going with Johnson. Gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
4 yards on the pickup. 2nd and 6 at the 24-yard line.
They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. Again, it's Johnson, and he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. That's to his running back, Kerryon Johnson. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Here's Sam Martin now as he'll punt it away for the second time. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you can attempt to play the field position game.
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
Check 43.
Play action now. Here's Mayfield. And he's got his man on the crossing route. That's Landry. Well, he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Jarvis Landry, 81 yards. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. And Charles, I had an offensive coordinator tell me one time that they designed every play to score. I don't know how true that is, but he had to run a long way after that catch. Heck of a play.
I think that when he was telling you that, he was designing run after catch in every play. I mean, that's the only way to put it in there, and that's what we got on that one. Nice catch, an even better run for big yardage.
Seibert on for the PAT. And that one makes this a 19-point game. Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown. Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
Let's go.
And Detroit getting set to go now. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. Here's Stafford. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards.
Now that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
Switch.
Now a 10th carry for Johnson. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. To throw is Stafford. Open man, he's got him, the tight end Hockenson. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
Set. 180. Switch.
On first down, it's Johnson. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 11 yards there and a Lion first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 46. They'll run it with Johnson. And able to push forward for right around 3 yards down to the 42.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Now Stafford. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Back to throw, Stafford. And he'll find Galladay. That's complete. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. They'll get 17 that time, and the Lions have a first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Set. 280. Hey, watch the screen. Watch the screen. Sit on.
Now to Galladay on the jet sweep. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
You ain't got nothing.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. From the 22, Stafford. He's got his tight end over the middle, T.J. Hockenson. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. He has a first down, and that catch will also put him over 100 yards receiving now on the afternoon.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
3 red zone trips have yielded just 2 field goals for them to this point, so they'll be searching for something more on 2nd and goal here. They'll run for it with Bo Scarborough. Able to get a couple here, but won't get across the plane as they stop him right around the 1.
Every team we ever talk to that continues to run the ball in a game, even when they haven't had much success, all talks about attrition, don't they? If you keep running it, eventually good things are likely to happen. It's been a hard go in this game today, hasn't it?
Yeah, this defense, they met pretty much every challenge in front of them this afternoon.
They're still trying to run the ball, but they're not finding much.
And he's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. From a yard out. And the Lions are able to draw a bit closer. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
And there's going to be a stoppage here. The booth wants to take another look at this potential touchdown.
Under review.
Stafford's pass complete to number 15. Touchdown, Detroit.
They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for, and this touchdown will count. Now Matt Prater for the point after. And they're able to cut the deficit to 12. So that one a long 11-play drive. And it's capped off by a touchdown for the Lions. Here's Martin now following the score as he'll send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. A chance for us here to discuss Jarvis Landry. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it?
Right.
Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
The Browns drive about to get started. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. They bring Rashawn Melvin on the corner blitz, and he gets there.
Brandon, more often than not, you'd say they've had his number, and we can count them up so far. 1, 2, 3, 4 sacks given up. But guess what? He's still been able to make some plays, and right now they have a lead.
Mayfield in this Browns offense staring at a 3rd and long now after the sack. 3rd and long for Mayfield. Trying to lay one up deep. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
Here's Jamie Gillen now as he'll kick it away for the second time. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15, and the Lions will take over. So out now come the Lions. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Oh, yeah, I'm coming. Oh, yeah, I'm coming.
Now it's Stafford. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. At this stage, this drive's got to be touchdown or bust because you need 2 of them.
And if I'm the offensive play caller, I'm not just looking at my dagger plays downfield. I'm looking at some of my specials, something that can fool them and give you a big play now.
With a sense of urgency.
No doubt.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Stafford. And he's got Amendola on the connection. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. It's a gain of 10 for the Lions and a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Throwing is Stafford. Amendola's got it, complete. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
To throw again on second down. Stafford. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Larry Ogunjobi in for the sack. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation. A shotgun snap for Stafford. TJ Carey right there in coverage.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
Here's Sam Martin now as he's on to punt for Detroit. And this will carry out of bounds. Where are they going to spot it now? At about the 18-yard line, it looks like. The Browns offense heading back out to take possession. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10 at their own 18. Mayfield to throw it, and he's got the hook up to Landry. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. A good pickup there for the Browns, 15 yards.
Well, how about this aggressive approach? Got the lead, fourth quarter, continuing to throw the football. Are you thinking about Super Bowl 51? Atlanta had the lead against New England, and they ended up giving it up?
I was going to say don't say it, but you did say it.
I did, didn't I?
Yeah, anybody watching Atlanta, our apologies. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. A give. This is Chubb. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Set, 180. Here we go, here we go.
On 2nd down now, it's Hunt. And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The Browns on 3rd down, 5 out of 9 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3.
It's our time, guys. It's our time.
They'll try to run for the 1st down with Hunt. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the 1st down. Close it out.
Here's Jamie Gillen now as he's on to punt for Cleveland. Oh, heavy Lion pressure here, and they block it. And they are going to take possession of the football. So much for pinning him really deep. Short punt could have pinned him inside the 10. Now great field position the other way.
It's never good when you're punting the ball and your eyes see the ball go back behind you.
No.
In however form, whether it's over your head or to the side, never good. Now it becomes a race to get to the football so they don't pick it up and take it all the way.
So here come the Lions now. They were forced to punt last time. Now, I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. If they want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
180.
All day, just like that. Just like that.
On 1st and 10, Stafford. And that's incomplete. Johnson, the intended target, and it's 2nd down. You and I watched film yesterday, and you told me to watch his feet. Well, for whatever reason, his footwork just looked off on that throw.
And you always love it when an ex-defensive back talks quarterback mechanics, right?
Well, but you're good at it.
Well, I try, all right? I don't know how good I am, but it doesn't take much to tell. His mechanics are off a little bit, exactly what you described. Footwork, that led to the incompletion.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the former first-round pick, Demarius Randall. He's at the 30, 10, and he'll score. Touchdown, Browns. And that one will pretty much erase any hopes of a fourth-quarter comeback.
With emphasis, interception, return for touchdown. Door closed, locked, reinforced.
Here's Seibert now to add the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. This will be fielded at the 6. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. And last time, decent field position through the pick six. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So that didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position, not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play too.
Get ready.
Stafford here coming off his pick six. He'll get this one to Galladay. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
So second in inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker. Now Stafford toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete. Once more, he was trying to get it to Kenny Galladay. Third down here. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. Lions go for it on 4th. It's Stafford. Catch is made by Hockenson, the tight end. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. Felt compelled to go for it there on 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a 4th down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You still have to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
2 first downs have them up to the 41 now for 1st and 10. Stafford now to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Here's Stafford. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Olivier Vernon coming in with some force for the sack that time.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation. Stafford. And he's going to go down again. Larry Ogunjobi picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
They're already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on fourth down. They snap it to Stafford. That's to his running back, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. First down for the Lions on a nice pickup of 18 yards. Fourth down, trailing in the fourth quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays have been successful throughout the game that have worked at the distance you need, and that's exactly what they got done.
The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down.
Watch the pass.
Out of the gun, Stafford. And it's caught here, Amendola. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. First down, Detroit, 16 yards on the pickup. Defensively here, you've got the cushion, but back-to-back pretty big pass plays there. Bend but don't break, but are they bending too much?
I think that they are. To me, it'd be like playing basketball, and you put up a token press. Make sure you get up there and make them eat up some time. Make it a little bit of resistance so they can't just run it right down your throat.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
You can't block me. You can't block me.
From the gun, here's Stafford. This into the hands of Marvin Hall, complete. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6. A gain of 6 there on first. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Open man is Galladay, complete. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. 1st down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Here's Stafford. Once more, he was trying to get it to Kenny Galladay, but it'll be 2nd and goal. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it, when you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
And a little bit of space there, takes it inside the 5 to the 3. Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on 3rd and goal.
Hey, lady. Check 53's mine. Oh, yeah.
Operating from the gun, Stafford. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. So now 4th and goal. You're trailing by a decent amount here. What are you doing, Coach Davis?
Well, I've got to think to myself, just how many more opportunities am I going to have this close and have this chance? I've got to go for it right here. The clock's dwindling on me. Let's go get it done.
To throw is Stafford. And it is incomplete. They're turned away on 4th and goal. And the Browns are able to come up with a goal line stand. So they'd converted their first 2 4th down attempts. Not there. Now they're 2 for 3.
You think maybe the offense coordinator expended a little capital on that one? You know, when you're 2 for 2, you can lobby for that 3rd one, right? Didn't get it there. Maybe now the head coach might not be so eager to go for it as we go forward.
They begin this drive with Chubb. And from the 4, they get it to the 8 on a pickup of 4. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. And again, it's Chubb. And an alley to run. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 20. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28. Well, they'll take that every time with a lead, 1st down, 4th quarter, getting 8 yards. You love that. They will take it, and you have to ask the defensive guys, why did you give it? I mean, you know the situation. You're down, have to stop them, have to get the football back. But 8 yards on 1st down puts them back on their heels. They go with Chubb on 2nd down. He'll have a 1st down past the 40. And he's going to get this to the 40-yard line. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12. Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along? Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it? I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate. A couple of 1st downs have them to the 40 now on 1st and 10. On 1st down, they'll run with Hunt. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. Was that 5 straight runs? Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive, and like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it.
Let's get it together, defense. Let's get it together.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense. They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them. And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work. That's called being in the zone. So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. It's a win for the Browns, and they're happy in the dog pound as we say so long from Cleveland.